How do you feel about sharks? Do they frighten or fascinate you? Every hour, well over 10,000 sharks are killed. Our oceans provide most of the planet's oxygen, and sharks play a crucial role in this process. With every shark lost, our entire planet suffers.
So we've just completed a 3-week offshore patrol of the Mamacocha campaign. We were patrolling around for IUU vessels in the Eastern Tropical Pacific. So one of the first things that we encountered is the identifications of these boats. They use AIS to broadcast their registration numbers and their names, and then that can tell us what they're registered for. SkyTruth has always had a suspicion that some of these boats are actually not broadcasting their actual identity. And the only way to really verify that is to go physically look at the boat. We had a number of occasions where we had some information from SkyTruth and we could verify the position of the boat, and then we would look at the boat and it was different. In some instances, the boat and its fishing permit are not actually what the boat is.
With SkyTruth, we've been looking at using all sorts of tracking data, different ways of monitoring vessels. The fleet that we just got back from is unusual in that they use these very powerful fishing lights to attract squid to the surface. And this is actually something that you can see from space. And there's VIIRS system, a NASA satellite, which passes over all the world's oceans every night. So we've been working to use this data to track these particular fleets, which are actually coming up in some different areas around the world. So there's a fleet we just visited near the Galapagos, a fleet near Argentina, another near Japan. But now the first time we've been able to get some footage of what's actually going on out there. Really what we're trying to see is those vessels which are not identifying themselves. Vessels that would be coming up with another tracking source, night imagery or radar, which are not giving their identification and location via AIS tracking.
It basically enables them to be able to hide, and they're concealing their real identity. They can be squid fishing or they can be long lining, and all they have to do is change their name, and then all of a sudden, the eyes from above SkyTruth, they'll just gaze over it.
It's here, just beyond the 200-mile economic boundary within the Eastern Tropical Pacific marine corridor, that the problem lies. Guided by nutrient-rich currents, sharks and hundreds of other species use the corridor to migrate between islands like Galapagos and Cocos, where they feed and reproduce. Unbeknownst to them, once they cross out of marine protected areas or territorial boundaries and enter the high seas, their journey becomes perilous. Able to predict the path these animals take, high seas fishing vessels hover, coming from as far as the Asian continent, cashing in on easy prey.
So one of the challenges that we learned very quickly about, actually getting footage and observing these vessels while they're fishing, while they're recovering the line. That's the most interesting part for us, because that's when we're going to see the sharks coming onto the boats. And that's what they don't want us to see. Once we're 10 miles away, it's obvious that we're there. We had to try a few different things, but we were very fortunate in the end.
So during the patrol, we witnessed a couple of vessels that were long lining in front of us, sharks being hauled on board. Upon killing the shark, they gutted it, had the head with the spine on it, and they taunted us with it, opening the mouth and closing it as if it's some kind of puppet. In the area that we just covered, we did 5,000 nautical miles. That's a drop in the ocean to the massive area that's being pillaged by illegal vessels. The scale of this thing is really kind of beyond comprehension, We just saw a very small part of this.
It's interesting to see the methods of fishing and what they're taking, how much they're taking, what they're doing with it out there before it actually ends up coming into a port and being sold into various different markets.
Finding and documenting rogue operations is just the beginning. Armed with evidence of vessels targeting endangered sharks, illegal transshipments, and the deception taking place in the Eastern Tropical Pacific beyond national boundaries, Sea Shepherd is preparing legal actions, holding Asian and Central American fishing fleets accountable for their crimes.
The fishing fleets that are out there, They can do whatever they want. It's a massive piece of the ocean. The problem is no one's patrolling it except for Sea Shepherd right now. Sea Shepherd has taken the initiative. It can be effective with the right support. It needs to happen now because it's not going to be an issue pretty soon because it'll be over.